There are days when you wake up and feel like you cannot take one more step. Days when the weight on your chest is so heavy that even breathing feels like work. You have tried. You have fought. You have prayed with tears running down your face. And still, the pain remains. Still, the problem stands there, looking at you, waiting. And you feel something breaking inside. Not your body. Not your mind. But something deeper. Your strength. That thing that kept you going all this time. It is running out. And you are scared. Maybe you are dealing with a sickness that will not leave. Maybe someone you love has turned their back on you. Maybe the money is gone and you do not know how you will make it through the month. Maybe you are carrying a sadness so deep that no one around you can see it, but you feel it every single moment. You smile when people look at you. You say you are fine. But when you close the door at night, when you are alone with yourself and with God, you whisper the truth. I am tired. I cannot do this anymore. I have no strength left. And here is what I want you to know today, with all my heart. That moment, that exact moment when you feel like you have nothing left, that is not the end. That is not where your story stops. Because there is a strength that does not come from you. There is a power that does not depend on how much you can take or how brave you have been. There is a God who sees you right now, in this very second, and He is not disappointed in you. He is not angry that you are weak. He is not upset that you are tired. He has been waiting for this moment. The moment when you finally understand that you were never meant to carry this alone. You see, we spend so much of our lives trying to be strong. Trying to prove that we can handle everything. We tell ourselves that faith means never breaking down, never feeling afraid, never asking for help. But that is not faith. That is pride. And pride will crush you. It will make you believe that your strength is what saves you. But the truth, the real truth that will set you free, is this. Your weakness is where God meets you. Your breaking point is where His power begins. Think about it. When everything is going well, when you feel strong and capable, when life is smooth, you think you are in control. You think you are managing just fine on your own. But when you hit that wall, when you fall to your knees because you cannot stand anymore, that is when you discover something beautiful. You discover that there is a hand reaching down to lift you. You discover that you were never alone. Not for one single second. The Bible tells us that God's strength is made perfect in weakness. Not in our power. Not in our plans. Not in our ability to keep it all together. In our weakness. In the moments when we have nothing left to give. That is when His glory shines through. That is when the world sees that there is something greater than human strength holding us up. And that something is God Himself. I know it is hard to believe this when you are in the middle of the storm. When the waves keep crashing over you and you feel like you are drowning. When you have prayed and it seems like heaven is silent. When you look around and see other people living their lives with joy and ease, and you wonder why your path has to be so hard. I know. I understand. You feel forgotten. You feel like maybe God is busy with other things, with other people who deserve His attention more than you do. But let me tell you something that might change everything for you. God is not far away. He is not distracted. He is not too busy. He is right there with you, closer than your own breath. He sees every tear you cry, even the ones you hide from everyone else. He hears every prayer you whisper in the dark. He knows every fear that keeps you awake at night. And He is not standing there waiting for you to figure it out on your own. He is waiting for you to let Him carry you. There is a difference between giving up and surrendering. Giving up means you stop believing. You stop hoping. You close your heart and walk away from everything. But surrendering means you stop trying to do it all by yourself. You open your hands and say, God, I cannot do this. I need you. I am too weak. I am too tired. I am too broken. And if you do not help me, I will not make it. That is surrender. And that is where miracles happen. When you surrender your weakness to God, something shifts. Not always in your circumstances. Sometimes the problem stays. Sometimes the pain does not disappear overnight. But something inside you changes. You find a strength that was not there before. A strength that does not come from your own will or determination. A strength that feels like someone is walking beside you, holding you up, breathing life into you when you feel like you cannot breathe anymore. This strength is not loud. It does not come with thunder or lightning. It comes quietly, like a whisper in your spirit. Like a gentle hand on your shoulder. Like a peace that makes no sense when everything around you is falling apart. And you realize that you are still standing. Not because you are so strong, but because God is holding you. Maybe you have been trying to be strong for everyone else. For your children. For your husband or your wife. For your parents who are getting older. For your friends who think you have it all together. And you are exhausted from pretending. Exhausted from carrying everyone else's pain on top of your own. And you feel like if you break, if you fall apart, everything will collapse. Everyone will see that you are not as strong as they thought. And that terrifies you. But what if I told you that breaking is not the end? What if I told you that sometimes God allows us to break so that we can finally let Him put us back together the right way? We build ourselves up with our own hands, with our own plans, with our own strength. And we create something that looks good on the outside, but is fragile on the inside. And when life hits us hard, it all falls apart. But when God rebuilds us, He does it with something that cannot be shaken. He does it with His own strength. And that is the kind of strength that lasts. You are not meant to be strong all the time. You are human. You are allowed to be tired. You are allowed to cry. You are allowed to say, I cannot do this today. God does not love you less when you are weak. He does not turn away when you fall. He comes closer. He wraps His arms around you. He whispers, I know you are tired. Rest in me. Let me carry you for a while. Let me be your strength when yours runs out. And here is the beautiful part. When you let God be your strength, you discover that His strength has no limits. Your strength runs out. It gets used up. It fades. But God's strength is endless. It never runs dry. It never gets tired. It never fails. So when you think you have reached the end, when you think there is nothing left, you are actually standing at the beginning of something new. The beginning of experiencing God's power in a way you never have before. There is a verse that says, those who wait on the Lord will renew their strength. They will rise up with wings like eagles. They will run and not be weary. They will walk and not faint. Notice it does not say those who push harder. Those who try harder. Those who never stop fighting. It says those who wait. Those who rest in God. Those who stop depending on their own strength and start depending on His. Those are the ones who find new strength. Strength that lifts them up. Strength that carries them through. Strength that never runs out. So if you are reading this today and you feel like you are at the end of your rope, I want you to know something. You are exactly where God can use you. You are exactly where He can show you what He is capable of. You are not too weak. You are not too broken. You are not too far gone. You are in the perfect position to experience a miracle. Because when you have nothing left to give, that is when God gives you everything you need. Stop trying to find the strength inside yourself. Stop looking for the courage to keep going. Stop believing that you have to be the one holding everything together. Let it go. Release it into God's hands. Tell Him the truth. Tell Him you are scared. Tell Him you are tired. Tell Him you do not know how you will make it through tomorrow. And then watch what He does. Watch how He shows up. Watch how He provides. Watch how He gives you strength that does not make sense. Strength that comes out of nowhere. Strength that can only be explained by saying, God did this. You might be wondering, how do I do that? How do I let God be my strength? It starts with honesty. Stop pretending you are fine when you are not. Stop hiding your pain from God. He already knows. He is just waiting for you to admit it. Pray simple prayers. Prayers like, God, I need you. God, I am weak. God, help me. You do not need fancy words. You do not need to sound religious. You just need to be real. And then you wait. Not with anxiety. Not with fear. But with trust. You trust that God hears you. You trust that He cares. You trust that He will not leave you in this place forever. He is working even when you cannot see it. He is moving even when you cannot feel it. He is preparing something for you that is better than anything you could create on your own. If this message is touching your heart right now, if you feel like these words were meant for you, I want to invite you to do something. Subscribe to this channel and leave a like on this video. Not for me, but so that more people who are struggling, more people who feel like they have no strength left, can find this message and be reminded that God is with them. Your simple action can help someone else find hope today. There is more I need to share with you about how God's strength works in our lives, about what happens when we truly surrender, and about the peace that comes when we stop fighting alone. But for now, I want you to sit with this truth. You are not alone. Your weakness is not a failure. It is an invitation. An invitation for God to show you what He can do when you finally let Him be God in your life. Take a deep breath. Close your eyes if you need to. And just say, God, I am tired. I need your strength. And know that in this very moment, He is answering that prayer. He is surrounding you with His presence. He is filling you with His power. And He is reminding you that you were never meant to do this alone. Your strength may be running out. But God's strength is just beginning to work in you. And that changes everything. Now I want to talk to you about something that many people miss. They miss it because they are looking in the wrong place. They are waiting for God's strength to feel like their own strength, only bigger. They are waiting to suddenly feel brave, confident, powerful, like nothing can touch them. But that is not how God's strength works. His strength does not always feel the way you expect it to. And if you are waiting for that feeling, you might miss the miracle that is already happening in your life. God's strength often shows up as peace in the middle of chaos. As calmness when you should be panicking. As one more breath when you thought you could not breathe anymore. As one more step when you were sure you could not walk any further. As one more day when you did not think you could survive the night. It shows up quietly, gently, like a whisper that says, you are going to be okay. I am here. And somehow, even though nothing has changed on the outside, something has changed on the inside. You are still standing. You are still here. And that, my friend, is God's strength holding you up. Think about the times in your life when you went through something that should have destroyed you. Maybe it was losing someone you loved more than life itself. Maybe it was a betrayal that shattered your trust. Maybe it was a diagnosis that turned your whole world upside down. Maybe it was a failure that made you question everything about yourself. At the time, you did not think you would survive it. You did not think you could make it through. But here you are. Still breathing. Still living. Still moving forward, even if it is just one small step at a time. How did you do it? You might say, I do not know. I just kept going. But that is the point. You kept going not because you found some hidden reserve of strength inside yourself. You kept going because God was giving you strength every single day, every single hour, every single moment. You just did not realize it was Him. You thought it was you. But it was never you alone. It was always Him, working through you, keeping you alive, keeping you sane, keeping you moving when everything in you wanted to give up. God's strength does not take away the pain. It does not remove the struggle. It does not make everything easy. What it does is carry you through the pain. It walks with you through the struggle. It gives you what you need to face each day, even when that day feels impossible. And that is more powerful than removing the problem. Because when God removes a problem, you learn that the problem is gone. But when God carries you through a problem, you learn that He is faithful. You learn that He keeps His promises. You learn that no matter what life throws at you, you are never alone. I want you to think about something. When you feel weak, when you feel like you cannot take another step, what do you usually do? Most of us try to find strength somewhere. We try to motivate ourselves. We tell ourselves we have to be strong. We push through. We fake it until we make it. And sometimes that works for a little while. But eventually, we run out. Eventually, the mask falls off. Eventually, we collapse under the weight of trying to be something we are not. But what if, instead of trying to find strength in yourself, you simply admitted that you are weak? What if you stopped pretending? What if you said out loud to God, to yourself, maybe even to someone you trust, I am struggling. I am weak. I need help. Do you know what happens when you do that? Something breaks. Not you. Something inside you that has been keeping you trapped. That wall of pride. That need to appear strong. That fear of being seen as weak. It breaks. And when it breaks, grace rushes in. Help rushes in. God's strength rushes in. Because God cannot fill a cup that is already full. He cannot give you His strength if you are still holding on to your own. There is a story in the Bible about a man named Paul. He was strong, confident, capable. He did amazing things for God. He traveled the world telling people about Jesus. He wrote letters that changed history. He performed miracles. But there was something in his life that he could not fix. He called it a thorn in his flesh. We do not know exactly what it was. Maybe it was a sickness. Maybe it was a struggle. Maybe it was something that caused him pain every single day. And he prayed about it. He asked God to take it away. Not once. Not twice. 3 times he prayed, begging God to remove this problem. And do you know what God said? He said no. But he did not just say no and leave Paul to suffer. He said something that changed everything. He said, "My grace is enough for you. My strength is made perfect in weakness." In other words, Paul, I am not going to take this away. But I am going to give you something better. I am going to give you my strength. And that strength will be so powerful, so real, so present in your life, that this weakness, this thorn, will become the very place where people see my glory the most. And Paul understood. He got it. He stopped asking God to take away his weakness. Instead, he said, I will boast in my weaknesses. I will be glad about them. Because when I am weak, that is when Christ's power rests on me. When I am weak, that is when God is strong in me. And that is better than being strong on my own. That is better than having it all together. That is better than never struggling. Because in my weakness, people do not see me. They see God. That is the secret. That is what most people never learn. Your weakness is not a problem to be fixed. It is a place for God to show up. It is an opportunity for His strength to be revealed. It is a stage where His glory can shine. And when people see you going through something that should break you, but you are still standing, still trusting, still believing, they will know. They will know that something greater than human strength is holding you up. They will know that God is real. But you have to stop fighting it. You have to stop being ashamed of your weakness. You have to stop thinking that if you were a better Christian, a stronger person, a more faithful believer, you would not be struggling like this. That is a lie. The strongest believers are not the ones who never struggle. They are the ones who struggle and keep trusting anyway. They are the ones who fall and get back up. They are the ones who cry out to God in the middle of the night and then wake up the next morning and say, I still believe. I still trust. I still know that God is good, even when life is hard. God does not waste your pain. He does not waste your struggles. He does not waste your weak moments. He uses them. He works through them. He turns them into something beautiful, something that will help other people, something that will bring Him glory. But you have to let Him. You have to stop hiding your struggles. Stop pretending you have it all figured out. Stop acting like you are fine when you are falling apart inside. There is so much freedom in honesty, so much peace in admitting the truth. I am not okay. I am struggling. I am scared. I do not know what to do. When you say those words, you are not being weak. You are being real. And God can work with real. He cannot work with fake. He cannot help someone who will not admit they need help. And here is something beautiful. When you are honest about your weakness, when you let people see that you are struggling, you give them permission to be real too. You break the cycle of pretending. You create space for others to admit that they are not okay either. And suddenly, you are not alone anymore. Suddenly, there is connection. There is support. There is love. There is community. Because we were never meant to walk through life pretending we have it all together. We were meant to walk through life together, carrying each other, helping each other, reminding each other that God is with us. So many people are suffering in silence right now because they think they are the only ones struggling. They look around and see everyone else smiling, everyone else succeeding, everyone else seeming fine. And they think something is wrong with them. They think they are failing. They think they are not good enough. But the truth is, everyone is struggling with something. Everyone has moments when they feel weak. Everyone has days when they do not think they can keep going. The only difference is some people are brave enough to admit it. And those are the people who find help. Those are the people who experience God's strength in real, powerful ways. If you are still watching this video, if you have made it this far, I know this message is speaking to your heart. I know you needed to hear this today. And I want to ask you again, if you have not already, please subscribe to this channel and leave a like. Not just as a number, not just as a click, but as a way of saying yes, I receive this message. Yes, I believe God's strength is real. Yes, I want to be reminded of this truth again and again. Your like and subscription help this message reach more people who need it, more hearts that are breaking, more souls that are searching for hope. God's strength in your life looks like this. It looks like waking up one more day even though you did not think you could. It looks like finding a reason to smile even when your heart is breaking. It looks like choosing to trust even when you cannot see the way forward. It looks like forgiving when you have every right to hold a grudge. It looks like loving when you have been hurt. It looks like hoping when everything looks hopeless. That is not you. That is God in you. That is His strength working through your weakness. And the most beautiful part is this. The weaker you feel, the more room there is for God's strength to work. The more broken you are, the more God can put you back together in a way that shows His glory. The more impossible your situation looks, the more room there is for a miracle. So stop seeing your weakness as a curse. Start seeing it as an opportunity. An opportunity for God to do what only He can do. An opportunity for the world to see that He is real, that He is powerful, that He is faithful. You do not need to be strong. You just need to be willing. Willing to let God be strong for you. Willing to trust Him even when you do not understand. Willing to keep going even when you cannot see the end. Willing to believe that He has a plan, that He knows what He is doing, that He will not let you fall. There is one more thing I need to share with you. One more truth about God's strength that will bring everything together. But I can feel that your heart is receiving this word right now. I can feel that something is shifting inside you. You are starting to see that your weakness is not the end. It is the beginning. The beginning of experiencing God in a way you never have before. Now we come to the heart of everything. The promise that changes how you see every struggle, every hardship, every moment when you feel like you cannot go on. This is the promise that God made to you, to me, to every single person who calls on His name. And it is a promise that has never been broken. Not once. Not ever. Not in all of history. not in all the lives that have come before you, and it will not be broken in yours. The promise is this: God will never leave you. He will never forsake you. He will be with you until the very end. Not just when things are good. Not just when you are strong. Not just when you have your life together. But always. In every moment. In every struggle. In every dark night when you feel completely alone. He is there. And He will give you the strength you need for whatever you are facing. I know that might sound too simple. Too easy. You might be thinking, I have heard that before. I know God is with me. But I still feel alone. I still feel weak. I still do not know how I am going to make it through this. And I understand. Knowing something in your head and feeling it in your heart are two different things. But I want you to understand something important. God's presence is not a feeling. It is a fact. Whether you feel Him or not, He is there. Whether you sense Him or not, He is working. Whether you can see what He is doing or not, He is moving in your life. There are times when God feels far away. Times when the heavens seem silent. Times when you pray, and it feels like your words are just hitting the ceiling and falling back down. Those are the hardest times. Those are the times when faith is tested. Those are the times when you have to choose to believe what you know is true, even when everything you feel is telling you otherwise. And those are the times when God is often doing His deepest work in your heart. You see, God is not just interested in fixing your problems. He is interested in building your faith. He is interested in drawing you closer to Him. He is interested in transforming you into the person He created you to be. And sometimes, that work happens in the waiting, in the silence, in the struggle, in the moments when you have no choice but to trust Him because you have nothing else to hold on to. Think about a child learning to walk. When they first start, the parent holds their hands, guides every step, catches them when they stumble. But eventually, the parent has to let go. Not because they do not love the child. Not because they do not care. But because the child will never learn to walk on their own if the parent is always holding them up. So the parent steps back. Just a little. Just enough. And they watch. Ready to catch the child if they fall. But giving them space to try. Space to grow. Space to discover that they are stronger than they thought. That is what God does with us sometimes. He steps back. Not away. Just back. He gives us space to discover that His strength is working in us even when we do not feel His hand holding us up. He gives us space to realize that the faith we have been building, the trust we have been developing, the relationship we have been growing with Him, it is real. It is strong. It will hold us up even in the hardest moments. But here is the beautiful part. God never steps so far back that He cannot catch you. He is always watching. Always ready. Always there. And the moment you truly need Him, the moment you call out to Him with all your heart, He is right there. Closer than you ever imagined. Holding you. Strengthening you. Reminding you that you are never alone. So when you feel weak, when you feel like your strength is gone, I want you to do something. I want you to look back. Look back at your life. Look back at all the times you thought you would not make it. All the times you were sure you could not survive what you were going through. All the times you felt exactly like you feel right now. And then look at where you are today. You made it. You survived. You are still here. And if God brought you through all of that, why would He abandon you now? Why would He let you fall now? He will not. He has never failed you before, and He will not start now. Every scar you carry, every tear you have cried, every sleepless night you have endured, it is all proof. Proof that God's strength is real. Proof that He keeps His promises. Proof that even when you feel weak, even when you feel like you cannot go on, He is giving you what you need to take the next step. And then the next. And then the next. One step at a time. One breath at a time. One moment at a time. Until one day, you turn around and realize how far you have come. And you know beyond any doubt that it was not your strength that brought you here. It was His. There is a verse that says, "The righteous may fall 7 times, but they rise again." Notice it does not say the righteous never fall. It says they fall. They stumble. They struggle. They have moments when they are flat on their face, wondering if they will ever get up again. But they do get up. Not because they are so strong. Not because they are so special. But because God lifts them. Because God gives them strength to rise. Because God never leaves them on the ground. So if you have fallen, if you are on the ground right now, if you feel like you cannot get up, I have good news for you. God is reaching down. He is extending His hand. He is saying, "Take my hand. Let me lift you. Let me give you strength. You do not have to do this alone. You were never meant to do this alone. I am here. I have always been here. And I will always be here. All you have to do is take His hand. All you have to do is say, 'God, I cannot do this without you. I need your strength. I need your help. I need you.' That is all. That simple prayer, that simple admission of need, it opens the door for God to pour His strength into your life in ways you cannot even imagine. And I want to tell you something else. Something that might surprise you. God is not waiting for you to get stronger before He helps you. He is not waiting for you to figure it all out. He is not waiting for you to be perfect or to have more faith or to stop struggling. He is ready to help you right now, exactly as you are. Weak, tired, broken, confused, scared. He does not need you to clean yourself up first. He does not need you to have all the answers. He just needs you to come to Him, to reach out to Him, to let Him be your strength. You know, so many people think they have to earn God's help. They think they have to be good enough, faithful enough, strong enough. But that is not how God works. God does not help you because you deserve it. He helps you because He loves you, because you are His child. Because He cannot stand to see you struggling alone when He has all the power in the universe to help you. His love for you is not based on your performance. It is based on His character. And His character never changes. He is always loving, always faithful, always ready to help those who call on Him. So stop trying to earn God's strength. Stop trying to be good enough to deserve His help. You will never be good enough on your own. None of us are. That is why we need Jesus. That is why we need grace. That is why we need God's strength to replace our weakness. It is not about what you can do. It is about what He can do through you when you finally surrender and let Him work. I have seen miracles in my life. Not the kind you see in movies. Not dramatic, earth-shattering moments that everyone can see. But quiet miracles. Personal miracles. Moments when I should have fallen apart, but I did not. Moments when I should have given up, but I kept going. Moments when I should have been destroyed by pain, but somehow I found peace. And every single one of those miracles happened because God gave me strength when mine ran out. Because He showed up when I needed Him most. Because He kept His promise to never leave me or forsake me. And He will do the same for you. I do not know what you are facing right now. I do not know what mountain is in front of you. I do not know what burden you are carrying or what pain you are hiding. But I know this. God knows. He sees you. He hears you. And He is ready to give you the strength you need. Not all at once. Not all the strength for the whole journey. But enough for today. Enough for this moment. Enough for the next step. That is how God works. He gives you manna, daily bread, just enough for today, because He wants you to depend on Him. He wants you to come back to Him tomorrow and the next day and the day after that. He wants you to learn that He is faithful, that He will never run out, that no matter how many times you need Him, He will always be there with exactly what you need. So trust Him today, just for today. Do not worry about tomorrow. Do not worry about next week or next month or next year. Just trust Him today. Take the strength He is offering you right now. Use it to take the next step. And tomorrow, when you wake up and feel weak again, come back to Him. He will be there. With more strength. With more grace. With more love. He will always be there. Before we end, I want to pray with you. Not a fancy prayer. Not a religious prayer. Just a simple, honest prayer from one heart to another. And if you are watching this and you need this prayer, I want you to close your eyes if you can. Take a deep breath. And just receive these words. God, we come to you today just as we are. Weak. Tired. Struggling. We do not have fancy words. We do not have great faith. We just have need. Deep, desperate need for you. For your strength. For your help. For your presence. We confess that we have been trying to do this on our own. We have been trying to be strong when we are not. We have been hiding our weakness because we were ashamed. But today, we surrender. We admit that we need you. We cannot do this alone. We were never meant to do this alone. So we ask you, God, give us your strength. Carry us when we cannot walk. Hold us when we cannot stand. Breathe life into us when we feel like we cannot breathe. And help us to trust you. Help us to believe that you are with us. That you will never leave us. That you will give us everything we need, exactly when we need it. We thank you for your love. We thank you for your faithfulness. We thank you for being the God who gives strength to the weak. In Jesus' name, amen. If that prayer touched your heart, if you prayed it with me, I want to ask you one more time. Subscribe to this channel. Leave a like on this video. Share it with someone who needs to hear this message. Because there are so many people out there who feel like they have no strength left. So many people who think they are alone. So many people who need to be reminded that God is with them, that He loves them, that He will give them strength when theirs runs out. Your simple act of sharing this message could be the very thing that saves someone's hope today. I want to leave you with this final thought. You are stronger than you think. Not because of who you are, but because of who is in you. God Himself lives inside you if you belong to Him. His power, His strength, His love. It is all there, inside you, ready to be released when you need it. You are not just a weak human being trying to survive in a hard world. You are a child of God, filled with His Spirit, empowered by His strength, loved by His heart. And that means you can face anything. Not in your own power but in His. So lift your head. Take a deep breath. And know that you are going to be okay. Not because life is going to get easier. Not because your problems are going to disappear. But because God is with you. And when God is with you, when His strength is working in you, there is nothing you cannot face. There is nothing that can destroy you. There is nothing that can separate you from His love. Your strength may run out. But God's never will. And that is the truth that will carry you through every single day of your life. Hold on to it. Believe it. Live in it. And watch what God does when you finally let Him be your strength. God bless you. You are loved. You are seen. You are held. And you are going to make it through this. Not alone. Never alone. But with God, every step of the way.